everyone. My name is Tsidi Warapila, and yeah, you're right. It is the leading thought feature of the Imperative magazine, but completely unique, right? So this is not our usual home, our usual spot. But listen, we could not miss this opportunity, right? So there's an event in the house. It's been doing series, right? It's a drum event, drum magazine event. And when we were invited to come sit with the legend, and I mean the great one, somebody who practically raised me. You know, when I was on my pillow and crying, oh, somebody broke my heart. She was there, and she is this Dolly. And her and I were just talking behind, just before we started, that some people say you don't exist. The answers are computer generated, and I remember my husband was saying, I want to see how old she looks, because if she's very young, then it can't be Sis Dolly who raised us, right? So yeah, if you see this radiation of excitement coming all over me, know that I'm sitting next to my legend, somebody who practically raised me, right? And I want to talk about a life of Sis Dolly before we go into the life of Sis Pearl, because we're talking with two individuals, right? And so, how did you begin the journey of Sis Dolly?
The journey began years ago.
Yes.
With Drum Magazine.
Mm-hmm.
I actually started off as just an advisor when they have relationship features on the magazine. And when the previous Sis Dolly decided to stop, then because they already had me on board, they offered me the job of Sis Dolly.
Okay, and how far back was that?
2015.
Okay, yes, all right, yeah,
I think it was, yes.
Okay, all right, and you were happy to fit into the role.
I was happy to fit in the role because I already had a relationship with Drum Magazine.
Yes, yeah. So what does that mean for you, right? So when you're getting a letter with the question where someone is really pouring their heart out, right? And the questions are genuinely life-impacting questions. It's someone really in a tight jam and just wanting someone to help them. What process do you go into in giving that person guidance, right? Knowing that you could be the last hope for them to make the next step or to not make the next step?
Okay, when I receive questions on a weekly basis, because they come out on a weekly basis, I take days. I actually do take days.
Yeah.
I read the questions and then I sort of just think about it and put myself in the shoes of that person.
Okay.
You know, and try and see what is it that I can do that can change the life of this person.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't just answer.
Yeah.
Read it once and then I give an answer.
Okay.
They might come to me on a Monday. I will read them and then maybe just on a Thursday respond.
Okay.
Write the responses.
Yes.
After I've really digested the question and tried to see beyond what the person is asking.
Yes.
Because I mean, a person can ask about something, but sometimes when they are writing about it, it's mixed.
And you don't have an opportunity to go back to the person and say, Tsidi, what were you saying here?
Yes,
so you need to read deeper into the fine line in understanding what exactly Tsidi is saying. Yeah.
So that's how I do it. And I also want to make sure that when the person receives the answer or the response, when they read it in the magazine, because I mean, I'm responding to the person, but I'm not responding directly to the person.
Yes.
This is going to be published in a magazine. And I'm thinking of this person buying the magazine every week, trying to see whether Sis Dolly did respond to them.
Oh, yeah, that longing for that answer.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I want the answer to have, weight.
Yes.
To have such weight that they would feel that, it was worth it for me to write to Sis Dolly.
And to wait. Yeah.
And now I'm receiving what will change my life or what will assist me in the challenge that I'm faced with.
Do you get questions where they just really not you, and you like, okay, can I, where you wishing for that physical contact with the person, because the question is just, hitting through the belly.
I do, Tsidi, because coming from a counseling background, you must know that assisting a person when they have a challenge is not a once-off thing. And with Sis Dolly, it's a once-off thing.
Wow.
So there are questions sometimes that come to me, and 3-4 months down the line, I'm like, Tsidi wrote about this. And sometimes I even remember the name, if the person put on the name. Or I'll remember that it came through SMS or email. But the challenge that the person has brought forward to me will be still so clear in my head.
Wow.
And I wonder if what I wrote did assist, or what has happened. Did they take my suggestion, or did they go to something? Because sometimes in the response I'll say, go to this place or do that, or whether they did really
take
follow
that
up.
action.
Yes.
So in our lives, right, which brings me to the connection of you as a counselor and the current work that you do as Pearl. What is it as humanity that gets us so desperate in our situation that we will even long for Sis Dolly? And most of the time where such conversations have escalated. Somebody is in a very tight corner and sometimes life-threatening. What makes us to wait until things get there?
Because I think sometimes we have too much hope.
Yeah. About what? About the situation?
About situations.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just plain denial. We don't want to accept that this is happening. Even if it's a little discomfort, you don't want to agree. You don't want to acknowledge that this person is doing this to me. If it's a person that's doing that, you don't want to agree that this situation is actually destroying me. So you prolong it until you are in such a point that you are afraid to go to people that you can talk to face to face.
Oh, because
the person will ask you.
Okay,
the person will ask you. But how long has this been happening?
Okay,
and you'll say it started in 1976.
And that person is like,
that person is like, but you're used to it now. So why do you want to do something about it now? You see, so it's better to write to someone. Sis Dolly doesn't know you. Sis Dolly doesn't see you.
And then there's no judgment.
There's no judgment.
Yeah.
Because as much as we can deny it, society is very judgmental.
Yeah.
The world out there is very judgmental. And I think people are running away from that, or are scared to engage to people that they can speak to face.
Yeah, because of that harshness that city is just going to throw in, the harshness of why. Where as a person I'm now having to justify myself. And justifying yourself that's the hardest thing. I always say to people that if you want me to come to leave your ecosystem, make me justify myself, because I wouldn't know how.
Exactly.
Right? But so when you get feedback like from myself, when I'm like, really, the column of Sis Dolly raised me, right? From a young girl, we were all heartbroken at some point. This guy is just, in my days, I know the anti-Asian Recall is working, but in my days, we were doing the letters, okay, and the cassettes. And so the boyfriend will tape the music for you, on that.
Yes.
And then this guy will just give the same lady the same cassette. Then my heart is broken, and then I'm gonna go read. Then that month, I am, drums diligent reader, because I'm reading every week with my pocket money. I need to find out similar story. Okay, similar. So what gives you what do you get when you hear feedback from somebody like myself that column raised me, right? And it gave me sanity at some point where I was just crazy and mad because the same guy gave the same cassette to the next girl, and my heart was just broken. So what do you say when you get that kind of feedback?
it sometimes validates the fact that as much as there's so much bad out there, but there are things that we are doing that are good. And as much as I haven't been Mrs. Dolly for ages,
Yes. Yeah.
but the time that I've been Mrs. Dolly, it validates to me that out of all the people that I've responded to, it means there's 5
Yeah.
that have benefited
Yeah.
from my response.
Okay. That makes sense.
That I wrote to Utsidi, but it could have,
Yeah.
given an answer
To
to
the
10
next
more
person.
that are in
Yes.
the same situation as
Yeah.
Utsidi.
Okay. All right. And let's talk to Sespel. Who is Sespel?
As I said earlier, I have a counseling background. So I've had years, about 13, 14 years of marriage and relationship counseling.
Okay.
And that has assisted me in doing Mrs. Dolly.
Okay.
And I am currently still in the sort of social work environment, but I'm working with the blind and the deaf,
Okay.
and it's fulfilling.
What does that mean for you?
It encourages me
Yeah.
to go out there and
Yeah.
do a difference,
Yes.
because as abled people, we forget that people who have disabilities also have the same rights.
Yeah.
They have the same inspirations. They want to be people that are seen as able-bodied people, as much as they are blind, as much as they are deaf, and they have needs too. So working with them has really changed my life for the better.
Wow. And you had an opportunity to do that. Wonder, where does that come from? Upbringing.
If you grew up in a family where there hasn't been any disability,
Yeah.
you are not disability sensitive. You don't become disability sensitive. And if your mother or your parents didn't teach you
Yeah.
that a person who's blind or a person who's working with crutches or in a wheelchair or who's deaf is the same as you, it's just that they don't have certain senses or
Yes.
certain,
Yeah.
then you won't be disability sensitive. And until you experience or you are in an environment where there are such people, you are unable to identify with their struggles.
But how do we correct that? So as Imperative Magazine, having you here as Sespel, what is it that we can take forward, right? So that sensitivity begins to be there. And I'll share a story, right? The other day I went to my local spa, and there's a sign. It says our barista is deaf. So please make the sign language or order by writing down. Then I am irritated because this person have been saying hi, and that's me, right? And as she turns, so I walk towards her so that she can face me, and I'm like, "Can you help me?" And she's smiling and she's indicating that she's greeting me, and I'm like, "Oh my God!" When I turn back, I see the sign. And therein I question myself and I say, who is disabled now, CD?
Exactly.
Because that sign is right in front of you and you did not see it. And there you are in your little arrogance, believing that you deserve the superior service. And it really called me out. It really made me question if I've been saying that, oh my God, I'm enlightened, and it made me question my stay here on the universe and what is it that I'm here to change, right? And so you understand that me asking you what is it that we can change, it also comes from a personal experience where I realized that actually disability, we are all disabled in our different way, right? But then there's just the other community who have just been more disabused because their disability could have been extreme or highly visible.
I believe that everyone has something to give in the world. It's just for you to tap in there to see what it is that you can do that can make a difference to someone else. And the thing is, people don't want to, they don't see a need to make a difference to people that have disabilities. They'd rather help Utsidi who's able and
Yes.
whatever,
Yeah.
and say, I helped Utsidi with her school fees, I helped Utsidi with that, and that makes you question Utsidi. So they help Utsidi because they know they can get something back from Utsidi.
Oh, wow.
But then,
Never
what
thought
are you going to
that
get back
way.
from somebody who's deaf? What are you going to get back from somebody who's blind?
Okay.
And it should stop from there. You know, it should stop there.
Yeah.
You can't help someone or want to know about the life of someone only because you want to get something from them.
Yeah.
Why are we following celebrities around and wanting to know their ins and outs
Yeah.
when you can just take your time,
Yes.
go to a disabled or a place,
home, yeah.
a home,
Yeah.
or a place where that services people who are deaf, and go and learn sign language voluntarily. Why do you have to go and experience what you experienced at Spa
Yes.
for you to want to know how do I say hello?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Because you know
Yeah.
you are going to go back there one day again,
Yes, yeah.
and then you need to be doing something.
Yeah.
Why didn't you start doing that before that experience?
And you're so right, and because in my, going back to the earlier statement where you're saying our homes, if you grew up in a home where you did not grow up with anybody with a disability, you are not sensitive to disability. So for me, standing there, it didn't even occur to me to read, right? Because I'm expecting the world to be that which I want it to be, which is so wrong, right? And maybe the direct question or the direct answer that I have to the question that I've given you is that it starts with you.
Exactly.
Because the world is not what you see, right? And there's infinite of realities out there. And you're right. Why did I wait for that experience before I could say, hang on? We are all disabled in our own right, in our own way, and building an inclusive society does not only mean black and white, does not mean men and female. It means everyone around us.
Because if you see someone with a white cane on the road, do you give them way?
We
You
don't.
don't.
We push them through.
You push through.
Yeah,
Instead
including with the children, including our child as well, we push through.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Instead of you standing and saying, baby, do you see that man with a white cane? It means they are blind and they are navigating their way through the cane.
Okay.
And next time you see someone
Yeah.
who has a white cane,
Yeah.
you must step aside. You don't do that.
No,
you just
we
walk
don't.
past.
Yeah.
So maybe it is time that,
Yeah.
that there's people out there like you've experienced. Take your child to that spa
Yes.
and ask the child to learn to say hello.
Oh,
It's a simple thing. You just go.
Yeah. And
And
then-
that's it.
And the next time with kids, because they're the best educators, they will want to teach the next child that.
Exactly.
Did you know how to say hello in a sign
In
language?
sign language.
And did you know, like it will be that. So that's how we can start in our own communities or in our
And
own
it spreads.
families, and it spreads. Yeah.
That's how you
Wow.
make a difference.
That's how you make a difference, and all of us needs to do that, right? Because it's easy for us to call out a racist spat at some restaurant, and there's nothing wrong with it. But then me doing that, nobody calls me out
No.
because it's the world moves on.
Yes.
You know, what are you here to do on earth?
Me.
What's your mission? Yes.
To make a difference. I think that is why I ventured into the counseling service. Because
Sis Pearl, how do we get hold of you?
on Facebook I'm Pearl Matsora Mutsamai, and then on Instagram I'm Pearl_Matso. And for the society that I work for, it's KZN Blind and Deaf Society.
Okay.
And the website is www.kznblindanddeafsociety.
That's where we get you. Any donations? Any?
If you go onto the website, then you are able to get onto our page,
Yes.
and you're able to get all the information on how to donate for the blind and the deaf.
Okay. And we trust that you will become one of our phenomenal subscribers on the Imperative Mac, which is on YouTube, and our name on Facebook, on Instagram is the Imperative Mac, right? So we'll see you there. We'll see each other online.